everyone, Emma here, also known as 8vinyllow, bringing all of you another video. Today's video is going to be a VCLT unboxing video. This package is from the man himself, legendary Jim, so I'm very excited to get into this and share with all of you what Jim has generously sent my way. He is, if you've seen these videos before, he is notorious for single-handedly building up the discographies in my collection of bands and artists that I absolutely adore. He has sent me holy grails in the mail that have made me cry, but the one thing that I love most about Jim is that he introduces me to music that I love. This is kind of what the vinyl community is for me, right? And I think for so many of you, just getting introduced to new albums, artists, bands, music that you would have not otherwise listened to without being exposed to it on here. So Jim is one of those people for me who definitely drives my my exposure with new music. One of the bands that he sent me back in 2020, an album, a debut album from this band, a band that I've talked about now on this channel a lot since then. He sent me the Midnight Callers' Red Letter Glow, their debut album from 2020, their CD that was released. And it had turned out to be, it became my favorite album of that year. And it's a band that I absolutely love now. And he was actually the first one, Jim was, to give me the heads up about their new album, which just came out about a week or so ago, called Rattled Humming Heart. So he was the first one to tell me that this album was coming out, and of course I got all hyped up about it. I did a pre-order video, and I'm just so into this band right now. They are my favorite modern new band out there, guys. This band is incredible. This album, Rattled Humming Heart, is amazing. I'm not going to get too into this right now because I do want to do a review on this, but Jim generously sent me this album so that it came in on release day for me. So I did want to showcase it in this video and say thank you to Jim for getting this in my hands on release day. But again, he also surprised me with a VCLT package. So that's what this video is going to be, an unboxing video. Let's just kind of jump right in and see what he sent. So, good old-fashioned unboxing. Got the box open, good old bubble wrap. There is always a note on top, so I'm going to put this off to the side because it usually has spoilers in there, and we will jump right into the unboxing itself. So right off the bat, I feel a couple of CDs bubble wrapped, and I already know what this is just by looking at it. This is awesome. Speaking of a band I just mentioned who is featured on this album, this is Gem Records. Celebrates Brian Wilson. So recently I showed the vinyl of the Gem Records celebrates Pete Townsend. Gem Records has a lot of great modern power pop, rock and roll bands out there, but the Midnight Callers is a band that is usually featured on this on these releases, on these Celebrate releases, and this came out in 2021, and they do a cover of I think Do It Again. It's covered by this security tag, but I'm pretty sure it's Do It Again. So I've been wanting to collect these Gem Records releases, and now I finally have the Brian Wilson one. And if you guys have been watching my channel, you know how much I love Brian Wilson. So I cannot wait to dig into this. That is awesome. All right, moving on, bubble wrap, some 45s it looks like. All right, so this one is another band that Jim has really gotten me into, is a band called The Lost Balloons. He sent me a couple of their releases, and this looks like a 45 with Dirty Sandy on side B, and side A is Liquor Store. So again, just another incredible band that he has exposed me to, and a really cool 45 it looks like from this band. So I'm excited to definitely dig into that release. Wrap. Okay, kind of get reset up here, squared away. I peeked, I saw it. I saw the one on top. I'm sorry, I peeked, I cheated. Speaking of Gem Records celebrates releases, I'm excited about this one too. This is awesome. Gem Records celebrates John Lennon. This is a vinyl version that obviously that was released. Features performances by the Weaklings, the Gripweeds, Anderson Council, so on. And then right at the bottom, of course, the Midnight Callers. Guys, I love this band. If you have not checked out the Midnight Callers, please do. And again, I will do a review of their new album here shortly on this channel. So they do, it looks like they cover Child of Nature, Jealous Guy, and It Won't Be Long. So and there's some other great bands on here that I've started to listen to because of the Midnight Callers and because of the connection to Gem Records. I've been starting to listen to a lot of these bands. Like the Weaklings are great. I've been listening to a lot of them, the Anderson Council, and so on. So definitely check out Gem Records, guys. They've been producing and releasing a lot of great material. A few more in here, I think. We have, all right, this is a new one. This is one I'm not familiar with. Interesting cover. This is Martha, Please Don't Take Me Back. And usually if it's something that I'm not familiar with, he kind of writes about it in this note. So I will get to that here in a second. Martha, Please Don't Take Me Back. Dirty Nap Records, punk rock Dirty Nap. All right, I am definitely excited to read a little bit about what Jim has to say about this album. So we'll get into that here in a second. There are still a few more records in here. This one is, what is this one? Free Freeze LP, coming later in 2023. Always Friends. Freeze. Okay, someone else that I don't really know. However, this is put out by Wild Honey Records, which I think it is the, I think Lost Balloons is from that label. So interesting. Don't know about this, but we'll get into that here in a moment. All right, we have Sloan. Okay, this is another band. I've heard of them before. I had heard of them a long time ago, and I've listened to them a couple of times, and then he sent me their CD for the album that I cannot think of right now off the top of my head, but you guys will help me in the comments about this. But this is their, I think this is a reissue, right, of Steady that just came out, pressed on deep purple vinyl, or first edition, Sloan Steady. So I recently saw, I think, Hannah at the Omaha Introvert shared this release on her maybe Instagram or her channel. So I'm definitely excited for this one because Sloan is awesome. So I'm sure he'll write something else in there. I don't know, like I said, a lot about Sloan off the top of my head, but I have heard them, and it's always just amazing material that they put out. Okay, next one is, okay, this is, Jim wrote me about this album. I think it's their new release. This is the new Pornographers Continue as a Guest. So he sent me another one of his releases, I think, and asked me about this one, Continue as a Guest, and I said, absolutely, I'm so into it. Of course, it talks about their connection to power pop classics and so on. This is from Merge Records, but I believe that this is their newest release. Yeah, 2023. So I am so excited to dig into this one because I really enjoyed the other one that Jim sent my way as well. This is like power pop goodness in this package. I love it. All right, it feels like a couple more in here. So we have, what's this one? Okay, this is Split Single Amplifata. I don't know this one off the top of my head. I'm trying to, okay. So I think there's, yeah. Okay, I don't know this album off the top of my head, but some of these musicians I am familiar with. So there's a Chicago connection, I think, in here, Bob Mould connection in here. Yeah, so I'm quite excited to read a little bit about this. I'm sure this is going to be a really neat kind of introduction for me to this particular album. Very cool. Okay, I'm trying to get to the note because I wish I could talk more about some of these albums, but I don't really know them off the top of my head. Okay, last one in here. And again, building up my discographies. I was missing this one. This is John Mayall Plays John Mayall. I did not have this album, John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. This is awesome. It looks like this just got a reissue, a mono reissue, it looks like 2023 Decca Records. So originally 1965. This is a great live John Mayall release with the Blues Breakers. Just awesome. So, of course, John McVie, Huey Flynn on here, and so on, a couple other guests, but just an incredible album and one that I needed to fill into my collection. So, Jim, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Just double check, make sure I got everything. Whew. Another just amazing package. Some albums that obviously I've wanted on my want list, and some albums that are very, very new to me, and bands and artists. So that's a Jim package in a nutshell, you guys. But just incredible. Thank you, Jim. All right, let's get to the note. He says, "Hi, Emma. With the summer break here, would you like to listen to some music?" Okay, good. I picked up a few things I hope you will like. Here's a 45 from the Lost Balloons. You've said how much you like them. This 45 was recorded before their studio album, so it is a little raw. I still think you will dig it. You showed an album called Gem Records Celebrates Pete Townsend. On it was a cover by the Midnight Callers. Well, here's Gem Records Celebrates Brian Wilson. The Midnight Callers also cover a song from this album. This is only available on CD. Something available on vinyl is Gem Records Celebrates John Lennon. Do the Midnight Callers cover a song on this album? No, they cover 3. I mentioned to you that there will be a Gem Records Celebrates Ray Davies coming out soon. It will be on August 11th. Once again, the Midnight Callers cover a song on that album. Martha is a power pop punk band from the UK. I know I'm going to dig that. They have been around for about 10 years. This is their 4th studio album entitled Please Don't Take Me Back, and it was released last year. A record I received for free because I ordered something else is a band named Freeze. They are an Italian garage rock band. Always Friends is their only album being released in 2019. A Canadian power pop band that has been around since the early 90s is Sloan. Yes, this is their latest album entitled Steady. It came out last year and has received very good reviews. Another Canadian power pop band is the New Pornographers. This is their newest album entitled Continue as a Guest, which came out this year. You now have bookends from this band as I gave you their debut album. Awesome. I know how much you like Bob Mould's music. Okay, I knew there was a Bob Mould connection. Split Single is a 2-person band with the Bob Mould vibe. In fact, the 2 men play in Bob Mould's band when he is touring. Amplifata was released in 2021 and is the band's 3rd studio album. Fingers crossed you like it as much as Bob Mould. I knew it. Okay. Last but not least is another John Mayall record. John Mayall Plays John Mayall is a reissue that came out about a month ago. This record plays in mono, just like the original album. Wow, not a bad haul. Not bad at all, Jim. I hope you enjoy the music. Keep up the great work, Jim. Jim, as always, thank you so much. I'll send you a message as well. I'll send you an email, but thank you so much again. And for everybody watching, go ahead down below and tell Jim how awesome he is. And then again, keep an eye out for my review of my favorite album of the year so far, Midnight Callers, Rattled Humming Heart. That will hopefully be coming out shortly. With that, I hope that all of you are doing well, and I will see you guys for my next video. Bye, guys.